My name's Black Eyes, and I believe you can become a better developer. In this video, you'll be learning about realistic lighting. We'll be going over the different properties and effects available, so you can turn your creations from this to this in only a few minutes. So right here, I just have the regular default base plate. So what I'm going to do is open the toolbox and just look for a free model city that I can use because I can't be bothered to model my own right now. Let me see what this looks like. I'd say I can make this work. I would already say this scene looks pretty decent as is, but it can definitely be elevated. So I'm just gonna go and delete all of these so I can start at a blank slate. Now what I typically start with is with the sky texture. So I go to this plugin called HDRI Inserter and I just insert an HDRI and boom. It already set up the lighting a little bit, which is nice. Don't need that old sky anymore. Now I want to orientate the sky for the sun to be like right there. I think that'd look pretty nice. So we can do that by going to the Skybox orientation. Let me just see where the sun is. The sun would be right there. So we can just go into the sky, set this to like -45. I don't know about this one. How was it before? It was like that before. That would be pretty dramatic lighting if I do say so myself. Honestly, I do like that. Next, let's add in atmosphere. Decrease the density by quite a bit. Say something like that, it's pretty good. Now let's tweak these settings. Now the ambient affects the shadows and how dark they will be. And if we want to add a little color tint, it will show up. So we're gonna add a little blue tint to our shadows to increase its brightness, so it can create some better contrast between that and the shadows. So I like turning that up a little bit. Set to 4.5. Now I'm gonna ignore the color shift bottom. The color shift top is the parts where the sun hits. So I'm gonna increase it like that. Make it nice and bright, nice warm. So that looks pretty good. Now if we go like this, it increases the shadows and increases the saturation of where the sun hits and the environmental diffuse. I'm sure there's something technical that it does, but that's just what I care about. It's about how it affects the shadows and such. I like decreasing it quite a bit. The sun's too saturated now, so I'm gonna decrease it like that. So something like that works. Go back to the ambient. You can put it like right there. Next is the specular, which I tend to decrease very slightly. Like right there. Set the lighting style to realistic and keep the shadow softness the same. The outdoor environment, just make it a little more blue like that. Next, let's do color correction. Now, brightness in this one just makes everything bright instead of just making the lighter areas brighter. I typically just leave brightness to how it was, set that to 0. Now for contrast, I typically like making it a little more punchy by increasing it a little. Make sure you don't go over the top with it. Saturation, realistically, it's a little more desaturated. That looks better, but you know, that's just personal preference. Now for the tint, this makes a tint of everything. So if you do anything here, you want it to be very subtle. I think I want it to be just slightly warm. So I'll bring it up a little bit in the yellow. Next, let's go into the bloom effect. Now, there's nothing really in the scene that requires bloom. I'm just gonna do a little trick that I do is turn the threshold really far down, then decrease the size a lot, and decrease the intensity a lot. So it just adds a little bit of subtle glowing, which I think looks pretty good. Next is the depth of field effect. Now, the difference between depth of field and blur is that blur blurs everything equally. So it just makes it look pretty gross in my opinion. But the depth of field only blurs things that are farther away from the camera. So if we just decrease the near intensity, increase the focus distance, you can see the things in the background become more blurry. We don't want to go over the top with this effect because it can make things look pretty smudgy and bad. I'd say that looks good enough. Now, I would say this looks pretty good. And that only took like 10 minutes, so I forgot to mention in the recording, but every environment is different, so don't copy exactly what I did. Make sure you tweak the different settings to fit what you have. Also, the building and textures can significantly amplify how your lighting looks. Anyways, make sure to leave any video suggestions you have in the comments, and subscribe or like if this video helped you. Goodbye now.